Clarissa Figueroa was a 46-year-old woman living in the Scottsdale area of Chicago, posting on Facebook that she's expecting a baby. She connected with a young girl about giving her some baby clothes. That was the last time the young mother was seen. This is a story of Marlen Ochoa-Lopez. Hello, good afternoon. It is in the afternoon, and yes, I am still drinking my Java Mama coffee. Welcome to Kelly's Coffee and Crime Chat. This is Kelly, and I am doing an early access to my subscribers on Spotify Premium and Patreon. This episode will appear on Kelly's Coffee and Crime Chat free on Friday, and that is Friday the 12th. Today's the 9th already. Wow. And I'm drinking probably the same coffee as I was last time, the chocolate peanut butter silk pie. And Java Mama is air roasted. So good. This is probably one of my favorite coffees. I am a peanut butter lover and a chocolate lover. It is so good. I have so many other coffees from Java Mama that I'm currently drinking. So it's sometimes I got to remember what kind am I drinking. Okay. I will leave the link in the show notes if you are interested in Java Mama's air roasted coffee. Better for your gut, green and clean. We also have tea, and that is actual tea leaves. And we have hot cocoa, sugar-free syrups for your coffee and ice cream, all different kinds of treats on there, and cooking spices as well. We just got a big heavy snow today. I think it finally stopped. It started last night, and this is probably our first really heavy accumulated snow. I am glad I'm inside today. I did not have to venture out. I actually had to cancel an appointment I had, and well, that's just how it goes. More than happy to stay home. So, this story is one that I remember happening, and it's one that has always disturbed me, and I have a very hard time talking about these cases. I'm not going to get graphic here because these bother me. I mean, it bothers me to where I can't listen. I can't. When someone's talking about something like this, it's very hard for me. So I tried to put this, I'm going to tell the story in detail, but just what happened to this poor girl is, I don't get people, how somebody could do this. I don't understand, but I wanted to tell this. And I have another story similar to this in my files. And when I say files, that's in my brain list. And I also have that list on my phone, but I don't want to do it close to this one. So I thought I would do this one first and then maybe do that a little bit later down the road. We are at episode 83. My sources, which is amazing again, my sources are blockclubchicago.org, chicago.suntimes.com, NBCchicago.com, and amp.cnn.com. So, this is Marlen Ochoa-Lopez, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying her last name right. I've heard it spoken like that. So she was born November 16th, 1999. When she was 19 years old. Now, I read that she's pregnant at 19 from her husband, and I wrote his name down. Lopez is her husband's name. Giovanni. I think that's such a cool name. Giovanni Lopez. And they have a 4-year-old. I thought maybe the 4-year-old was his, but I think I also read it was her son as well. And I think it's a boy also, if I'm not mistaken. There was a woman named Clarissa Figueroa, and she lived in the Scottsdale area in Chicago. She was 46 years old. And she had a daughter, a 24-year-old daughter, Desiree, and Desiree was also pregnant, so Clarissa was going to become a grandmother. Now, Clarissa had a 20-year-old son named Xander, and he died of natural causes in 2018. So this is a year before this happened. Later that year, Clarissa announced she was pregnant at 46. She actually posted a photo of her ultrasound on Facebook in November of that year, and that would have been 2018. I didn't get the day or month when her son died, but later that year in November, she had a photo of her ultrasound and posted it on Facebook. She was part of this Facebook group that was, I don't know if it was just a page or a group. I read it was a page, and it was about expecting young mothers. Well, not young, but expectant mothers. And a lot of people posted stuff on there. Like if you had, you needed some baby clothes and you really didn't have much money and people had something that they were using, they would donate to you. Well, February of 2019, so 3 years later, she posted a photo of a baby room with a crib on this Facebook page, and in case anybody wanted them. Well, I don't know if anybody wanted them. She just posted the Facebook page, I think, to show this is my baby room and this is my crib. I think that's what it was. So in March, she put on that page, "Who is due in May? Where is the May mamas at?" Now, this is a quote. This is actually what it said. And 19-year-old Marlen Ochoa-Lopez was also on that page, who was due in May. And she posted on there that she was in need of baby items and a stroller really bad. Well, Clarissa answered her saying she had baby clothes for her. Now, they talked privately after this, so the private messages weren't on the page. They made arrangements for her to come, for Marlen to come to Clarissa's house. Clarissa said her daughter's pregnant and they have extra baby clothes, but it's for a boy. Or no, she said something about her daughter had a child. I don't know exactly what she told her. Just that she had baby clothes for a boy that the baby was no longer wearing. He had outgrown them. So I don't know if this was Desiree's first child she was pregnant with or if she actually already had a son. I'm not sure about that. So Marlen went to Clarissa's home for the baby clothes and left. So she got some stuff and left. Now, I don't know if Clarissa got a hold of her again and said they had some more. They had a stroller. I don't know. There were some other baby items that she told her she had. But I think it was mostly clothes is what she was giving her. Because, of course, she's going to need these baby items for her own baby when her own baby is born. So she returned. Marlen went back to Clarissa's home on April 23rd of that year, 2019. On April 24th, the following day, Giovanni, Marlen's husband, reported her missing. He was told to wait 72 hours. 72 hours. He had not heard from his wife. He had not heard from her from the day before. 72 hours. So the family hired a private investigator, and I do not blame them. That is a good thing to do. So a friend of Marlen told detectives, and I'm thinking it was the private detective. I'm not positive if it's private detective or the police. But a friend of hers told them on May 7th. This is when she told them. She told detectives on May 7th that she told them about the Facebook page where Marlen had talked to Clarissa before she went missing. So they looked into this. And they went to Clarissa's home and talked to her daughter, Desiree, because Clarissa wasn't home. Well, Desiree told them her mom was in hospital because of something with her legs. She's in the hospital. And then she decided to tell them, I don't know how long they were there. Then she told them her mother had just had a baby and was in the hospital. So they went to Clarissa, who was in the hospital, They did some DNA testing, and she was not the mother of this baby, because they did the DNA testing. And there's something I'm going to talk about at the end of this, but I forgot to write it down, and I knew I was going to forget to write it down once I started recording. I got to make a note of it. They ended up doing the DNA, and they knew it wasn't her, but they knew it was Giovanni Lopez baby. So I'm going to write a note here. It's very hard for me to write because my pen, for some reason, don't want to work. So yeah, DNA, and really, Clarissa should have known that DNA was going to do this, because DNA will tell you if it is your child or not. So they they did that. They found out it was Giovanni's baby. They found Marlen's vehicle nearby that area. I'm not exactly sure where it was. I don't know if it was on the street. I don't know. They had to get a search warrant, though, in order to go into Clarissa's home and search. So they found bleach. They got the warrant. They went in. They found bleach and cleaning solutions. There was blood on the floor still. Living room, bathroom, hallway, and evidence of burned clothing. Then they found Marlen's remains in the backyard, and she was in a trash can. And this was the backyard of Clarissa's, and she was in a trash can, and she was not all in one piece. I'm just going to say that. So, sorry about that noise in my paper. I just accidentally hit it with my hand. She was, in the trash can, and I cannot imagine coming upon that. I really can't. Now, going back to April 23rd, Marlen went to Clarissa's that second time. She was on her couch with Desiree while Desiree distracted her by looking at a photo album. Clarissa came up behind Marlen, took a cable, and strangled her from behind. Marlen grabbed at the cable, got her fingers through to her neck to pull him away. Clarissa told her daughter Desiree that she wasn't doing her job. So Clarissa got on top of Marlen, strangled her for about 4 to 5 minutes. The daughter could have stopped this. The daughter could have stopped it. So, but no, she didn't. Because they've been planning this for a while. She took the baby from Marlen. I'm not going to go into how. She called 911 saying she just had a baby and the baby wasn't breathing. They were both in the hospital, but there was no sign of Clarissa having a baby. None. Which is another thing they can find out. Her boyfriend, I do not know how to say his name, nor do I really care, but it's spelled Piotr. Last name, Bobak. He was 44 years old. He cleaned up the murder scene. Said the baby boy was his to get donations. Charitable donations. I don't know if he was saying the baby wasn't breathing, the baby was in trouble. I don't know what he did to get donations. I don't know if he just asked on Facebook, GoFundMe. I did not see any evidence of him ever having a GoFundMe on it. But how dare you? This case just made me so angry. And the more I was reading it, oh my gosh. The baby, named Giovanni Lopez, died 2 months later. So they named the baby after the father, I'm pretty sure. That's what I read. So the poor baby had no brain activity, was taken off life support June 2019. The 3 murderers pled not guilty. Another thing that shocked me, not guilty. Desiree had her baby in November that year. And she did confess that she assisted her mother in the murder. Now, I read that she confessed. So I'm thinking Clarissa was the only one that pled not guilty. I'm not even sure. I read again that they pled not guilty. And I'm like, well, if you confessed, maybe she's pleading not guilty because she's saying it was all her mother. I don't know. But she and her mother were both charged with first-degree murder and aggravated battery of a child. The boyfriend was charged with concealing the murder. He got 4 years. 4 years for concealing this murder. That's not even near long enough. You talk about a slap on the wrist. Petition for severance, if approved, Clarissa and her daughter Desiree will be tried separate. So that's what's going on now. If this petition is approved, they will be tried separate in separate trials. Their indictment includes first-degree murder, aggravated kidnapping, aggravated battery of a child, and dismembering a body. Trial has not happened yet, believe it or not. I thought it did until I got to the end of this and I was going through everything trying to find it. They have not had their trial yet. One thing that they did do for this is they adopted a law, Marlen's Law, and I never found out if it went into effect yet. I'm not even sure. I'm trying to look. I'm going to look it up. I was going to look it up before I started recording and I forgot. This is the thing. This is the one thing I made a note on. Marlen's Law. If somebody comes to the hospital who had a baby at home, they need to do a DNA test right away. I think definitely that should be passed. And I have not found it. Like I said, it may have been passed. I haven't found out. You can look it up. It's Marlen was her name. And it's Marlen's Law. And that is in Chicago, Illinois. Because that definitely should be passed if you have a child at home, somewhere besides the hospital, that DNA testing needs to be done. Wait 72 hours. I cannot believe they told her husband to wait 72 hours. A pregnant young mother missing like this. That really infuriates me. And she was almost ready to give birth. I couldn't remember. I mean, this was April 23rd. And if she was due in May, I don't know exactly when in May. I don't know the date. This whole thing just tears me up. And if anybody out there is listening to this, please do not go to someone's house you don't know. Don't do it. Even if you went there once and left, do not go back. I'm telling you, do not go back. Have them. I mean, I wouldn't even meet them because this woman was lying. This woman was lying. I don't know what kind of baby clothes she gave her the first time, but she's lying. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, maybe she did have a baby. Maybe Desiree did have a baby boy already. Like I said at the beginning earlier, I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, come on. You don't know whether to believe anybody, and it's very, very sad. That's why I'm kind of funny about people selling things on Facebook. Unless I know them, they're like, porch pickup. I'm like, I don't know you. Do I want to go to your house and pick something up? And then it's not on the porch, and then I got to knock on the door, and nope. So this stuff really, really makes me suspicious of everybody. Even sometimes it's even someone you know. So, the people I know that I would trust and I know very well, but, who are selling things and stuff. But just don't do this to people you don't know or people you don't know very well. Very, very sad case. So I just wanted to tell this. Pregnant women are a target a lot with all of this stuff. There's so many stories about this. And it's like, okay, for one thing, I'm trying to figure out who does this. You're not a doctor. How can you do this? There's no way in the world would I want anything to do with it. Oh my gosh, I cannot imagine. I'm the type of person that, like I said, this bothers me. I cannot get over it. I just can't. And I'm not a person that can work in a hospital. I can't do it. There's just no way. I can't even take people talking about, like, when I first heard this, it just made me cringe. It made me cringe. I feel for these poor young mothers. I feel for them. There's one story I want to do, and I can't remember the gal's name, but I'm going to look it up, but she got away. And I want to do that one because I can't remember what happened to the people that tried. I don't know. I need to find out because that's another good one. But there is another one that I do have that I just ran across. And I don't even know if I've heard it. I probably have heard it. I'm pretty sure I have because the name sounds kind of familiar. But I want to tell that one as well. But just remember, if you are expecting a baby, do not answer anything like this. Oh my gosh. Now, that's the case. I'm sitting here just zoning out here for a minute on this. That's the case of Marlen Ochoa-Lopez. My heart goes out to your family. My heart goes out to all of the family. I don't know how they got through this. I don't know how they kept from attacking Clarissa and her daughter and the boyfriend, because I'm telling you what, 4 years for him is not enough. Which makes me think he's out now. I don't know. I'm sure he probably is. But, I don't know. It's so sad to me. This is sad. It's horribly sad. So that's the story. I did watch Gypsy Blanchard's, it's Blanchard, no E at the end. I did watch her, the special, documentary on Lifetime over the weekend. There was a Friday night, a Saturday night, and a Sunday night episodes. Very, very good. You really hear her side of everything. And it even follows them when, before she married, the man, from Louisiana. His last name's Anderson. Ryan Anderson, I think's his name. Excuse me. Sorry. It follows them. It follows them when she gets out. He goes to pick her up, but they couldn't film inside. So you don't see him pick her up, but you hear the audio. And then she goes back to the house they rented in Missouri, where her dad and stepmom and sister are. And she goes home, and it's such a nice reunion to see her out. And then after that, she gets a phone call from her lawyer saying she needs to leave the state of Missouri. So she was upset about that she had to leave the state. I thought when you were paroled, you couldn't leave the state. Unless I'm thinking of something different, or unless their laws are different there. I don't understand that, because I thought you couldn't leave the state. Maybe in her case, you can go anywhere except Missouri. I don't know. Well, I'm sure she can't leave the country, but that's a very good documentary. Highly recommended. I really enjoyed it. And now it's on Amazon Prime, so you can see it on there. So I just wanted to talk about her. She's been in a prison all her life, and she's finally free. She does have a lot of haters. She does have a lot of people thinking that she shouldn't be out. But I am here to say I think she should. I know the boyfriend that she asked, that's all she did, to do this. And he was the one actually, I think, that brought it up first, that he could get rid of her mother. From what my understanding is from following this case, this is my understanding. I thought for sure he was the one that brought it up. When you watch this documentary, it sounds like he brought it up, and she's like, oh, you will? Well, can you? So she asked him to do it. She didn't have to manipulate him. She didn't have to threaten him in any way by saying, like, I'm going to leave you if you don't kill my mother. Some people do that. Or I'm going to leave you if you don't do this. She didn't do any of that. So he jumped at the chance, and at his trial, he said, yeah, he killed her and he would do it again. He's got a very violent way about him. And Somebody posted this, but I think it's not true. If it is true, I didn't hear about it, that he had killed somebody before this ever happened. I don't know if that's true, but he did have another identity who was a vampire, another identity, and he did say that he is very violent. And anyway, long story short, he had rape on his mind and all that. And this is the reason why he's still in prison. That's why he got such a tougher sentence. He did not show any remorse. And she says she wishes she can go back in time and not do this. And just tell somebody, because after all this came out, that her mother was wrong for what she did. And everyone knows her mother was wrong for what she did. She wishes that this would not have happened. So hopefully she's doing well now that she's out. Hopefully the world isn't too tough for her. Like I said, she's never been out on her own. This is the first time, and she's 31 years old. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit. Trying to think if I've seen, I just saw a good movie on Netflix, The Good Nurse, with Jessica Chastain. That is good. They also have the documentary Capturing the Killer Nurse. Man, that's really good too, because it shows him at the trial. Would not even look at these family members who he's killed in the hospital. Would not even look at their family members at trial when they're talking to him. So, very good movie and good documentary. That's highly recommended on Netflix. And I don't think I've watched anything else recently besides, like I said, the Gypsy Blanchard documentary. So I want to thank everybody for your support. $5 gets you early access to many of my episodes and 3 bonus episodes a month. I just did Lindy Chamberlain from Australia, who in 1980 was, or was it 1982? It happened in 1980. She was falsely convicted for the murder of her daughter, her baby, who was taken by a dingo at the campsite. So that is a really good story, and I did an episode on it. So that is my latest on there. All you gotta do is pay $5 and you can get all 13 bonus episodes right now. So, and that's on Patreon or Spotify Premium. Thank you, everybody, for all of your support. If you have any suggestions on any cases in the Midwest, or any cases for the Patreon or Spotify Premium, because I go everywhere for those. So if there's any other cases you want me to cover, I will leave my email, Instagram, Facebook, everything in the show notes. And everybody have a wonderful week. Second week of January in 2024. Stay safe, stay warm if you're in the cold. If you're down in Florida, stay safe from the storm coming through. And I will see you next time.